Finished this year.
It is that time of the night again, 7:30 p.m. You know, a number of people have said, not a number, 3 people over the last few weeks have said, hey, why do you go on at 7:30 to 8:30? Why don't you just go on from 7 to 8? But I find 7:30 works for us. Babe, don't you think? By the way, this is Dawn over here answering the chats.
Good evening, all. Yes, I like 7:30.
Yeah, 7:30. It's a good time. So we've thought about maybe going 7:30 to 9:30 or 7 to 10 or something like that. Sooner or later, who knows? You know, it depends on how everyone is liking or responding to the show. We'll add some time. Well, baby, it looks like it has been one heck of a busy week already.
It's Monday.
Right? Oh, my goodness.
I'm ready for a nap.
The Clear Skies movement has been working their heinies off. You may notice that Christy in the chat said that she was exhausted. Well, she should be, because she has been working nonstop along with LaShawn and Babushka. And they have put together the other, we've got, I think, all 50 states now. So I am looking for really great moderators for states like South Carolina, North Dakota, Washington State, right? We need some really good moderators. Utah, absolutely, because you are going to be the ones who really grow those areas. We just give you the step up. Isn't that right, babe?
Exactamundo.
So, without further ado, I'm just going to get into it because the skies are absolutely screaming tonight, and I want to talk about it. And it's not Mother Nature throwing a tantrum. I want you to know that. Texas is drowning in flash floods once again. The West is a tinderbox, wildfires ripping through Arizona, Utah, and beyond. I think I have well, I don't have it here. But I know we were at 103 degrees today.
Yeah,
100 degrees yesterday. The whole Northwest is stuck in this heat dome, and they're using that. And our government is using weapon warfare. Oh, here, let's take a look at this. There you go. You can see that. I mean, we've got nothing but wildfires up here, just burning like crazy, going for it right there. So with the heat dome, they're using that to draw the moisture up from the Gulf, and you clash that together with the cold weather coming from the north, and all of a sudden you've got really bad weather. In the Gulf, of course, there is a tropical storm churning, and it is ready to hammer the coast.
Babushka says 25,000 lightnings in Florida today.
Oh my God! Well, you know what? I've got a lightning strike map of Florida right there. It's crazy how this is happening. And Florida, Florida, of course, their bill went into effect, their SB 56 on the 11th. They had a 10-day grace period from the 1st until the 11th. But then it went into effect. And now we need to see if the governor down there is going to do anything, because this is important. This is very, very important. I'm thinking he might, and he might not. Who knows? Because there's a lot of money in geoengineering. So we've got the tropical storm getting ready to go off. We've got Noah's Rick Spinard calls it seasonable instability. Gina McCarthy whispers in the White House. She says that it's just summer vibes. The Weather Channel's reading from the same script, but come on, normal weather doesn't hit like a sniper. This isn't random chaos. It's not El Nino on steroids. This is, of course, a coordinated attack. That's what it is. Atmospheric engineering dressed up as natural disaster. Radar pulses, stalled jet streams, locked high-pressure systems. Someone's playing chess with our skies. Tonight, we're going to start bringing that curtain down. We're going to talk you through the heat domes, the fire lines, and the floods, and the Gulf storm that the National Hurricane Center is tracking. We'll call out the players, NOAA, like we always do, the Department of Energy, Raytheon, and show you the fingerprints, mostly important. We're handing you the playbook to fight back, county by county, starting right now. This show tonight is more than a battle cry. Well, actually, it's more of a battle cry than anything. Baby, what are they saying over there in the chat?
July 14th and still no clear skies. Not one day since Trump won the election. And this is Al Birdman.
Al, do you think, and I want the rest of the chat to answer this, do you think that it has gotten much worse since the election and then even worse after January 20th? Does everybody think, I mean, do they share my opinion? My educated opinion that things took a gigantic leap up in November 20th when Donald Trump won the election. And then again in January when he was sworn in, it seemed like all of a sudden, I mean, now we're smothered, except here in Boise, because we are, of course, in the desert, and they need the heat from the desert to keep this heat dome. Mm-hmm. So the jet stream goes up and around us and pulls all that cold air down into the other pressure system.
Take your photo down.
Well, I love the photo.
Well, I'd rather see all of you. They're all agreeing much worse.
Yeah.
Much worse. Definitely far worse. But has the skies...
Hold on.
Bless you, sir. That felt good.
Yeah, there we go.
I think Florida, Kaz says, I think Florida is a lot worse because President Trump lives there. Super says they're owning the weather in 2025 for sure.
Yeah.
So Florida hasn't cleared up at all?
No, it sure doesn't look like it. And then look at what's going on in New Jersey. Right? We've got floods. I mean, the floods have been absolutely incredible. Just one big flood after another. And then, of course, we've got our weather alerts here. And I mean, look at this. I've been watching I watch this channel every now and then. I mean, they pull out. We've got the fires on the, in the West. We've got the heat wave in the West. We've got the floods from Texas all the way up through, New Jersey and Washington, D.C. and New York City. We've got the soon-to-be tropical storm probably sitting down in the low pressure zone, or that is the low pressure area. I forget what it is. Anyway, right down here, you'll see it on the screen. Right there, just getting ready to storm. And I think we've got another storm coming up from the Caribbean as well, or over. It's insane, absolutely insane. So I don't know, guys. What are your thoughts? I mean, who has seen? I'll be 62 pretty soon, and who has seen weather like this in their entire lives? A few weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, we had where it was snowing in June. So it was in June. So that was, 4 weeks ago, babe. What, half a month ago?
Yeah, it was in June.
And heat wave in Texas. And then Texas started getting hit with the floods down there in El Paso. They got flooded out. They had an enormous, I mean, a city-sized termite den was put up in the sky. Not good.
Cass says, I have a family currently overseas in the Philippines, and their skies look the same as Florida.
Yep. They're spraying around the world. You can't control the weather unless you control the whole world. And that's why I say the world will go the way that America goes. If America stops weather warfare, then we're going to see other countries. Now, we probably won't see China because China is really trying to depopulate. China has a huge issue. China's going to be gone. China, as we know it, will be gone in 10 years unless something very severe happens. Their one child, only boys got to survive. it destroyed the country. Mao Zedong was, that's what happens when you play God. Let me tell you this. That is what happens when you play God. A couple of generations, 2, 3, 4 generations, and bang, that country is now, it's 10 years. That is what they say the life expectancy is. The same is happening in Japan, right? Japan, just they're not having any kids. So you want to play God with the population, that's what happens. Well, you want to play God with the atmosphere, this is what's happening. And I'll tell you that heat dome is, it's starting to get surreal how our country, there's no more good times of the year. So let's dig into the heat dome suffocating the West. Now we're talking about a dome that covers California, Nevada, Arizona, Utah, and all the way up here to Idaho, Boise, Nampa, Caldwell, right? We're all roasting in triple-digit heat waves. I don't know of a time I've ever seen this. And this isn't your typical summer sizzle. It is technically called a heat dome, a high-pressure system that traps hot air, like a lid, on a pressure cooker. And this one is locked a little too tight, I think. The National Weather Service and NOAA point to El Nino, saying it's just the jet stream acting quirky. I don't think so. I do not think so at all. Yeah, El Nino can nudge the weather patterns. Nobody's denying that. But does the natural system keep heat pinned down for this long in this large of an area without moving? This is precisely without anything pushing it. I don't know. Babe, what do you think?
Sounds right to me. Sorry, I'm reading everybody.
All right.
Sometimes I don't listen to Serge.
Yeah, a lot of times. But I have to listen to her.
Now. Moving on.
Well, I'm not buying it.
Dragon Daco says, nope, it's the aerosols.
It is the aerosols. Of course it is. And it's not just the aerosols. The aerosols are what carries the frequencies. And we are being radiated as well. It's not going to end well. And I think that it might be going off script. I think that they may have lost control of the weather a little bit this time.
Vectum said heat domes happened in France in 2021, and they said it was a 1 in 10,000 year event.
There you go. And watch what happens, because I bet you anything, we've got another one of those 1 in 10,000 year events.
Coming to a store near you.
Exactly. So let's talk about who's got their hands on the controls, because that is the most dangerous part. The Department of Energy's funding stratospheric aerosol research experiments messing with the upper atmosphere. Raytheon, of course, has built their radar array that just doesn't track storms. They point it skyward and they pulse away. The National Science Foundation, well, they're pouring millions and millions of dollars into upper atmosphere studies. And guess what? Their research zones overlap with every heat dome we're seeing. Is that a coincidence, do you think? I don't think it is. Come on. This feels like infrastructure, not weather. I'm not saying it's sci-fi death ray, but what I am saying is that it just does not feel right. So when you've got suppressed wind flow, stalled jet streams, and radar systems humming, you got to ask, what is really going on here? Now, I'm going to be fair. Meteorologists say heat domes happen naturally. High-pressure systems, they're not new. But the intensity, the duration, the precision, when storms come up against flat lines that flatten the storms out and push them back into an area like we saw in Texas recently. And then we also saw Chantal. What is pushing against them? And remember babe, do you remember the two
that flat clash together?
And all of a sudden you see the whole thing that, two pressure zones coming in. It's not right. It's not normal. And all of a sudden it just triggers all of this. It's like, flipping the switch. So that's...
Beckham says it reminds me of the COVID shots. They don't seem to have an off switch.
No, there is no off switch. I think something diabolical is going on. I'm hopeful because we are now getting a ton of notice. The Clear Skies movement has been absolutely raising hell, and we've had a couple of big. I won't name them right now, but some people want to do some stories on us, and I say bring it on. Let's talk about this because we need to. Historical data from NOAA shows heat domes lingering longer since 2000. So, why? Why are the heat zones lingering? Why are the storms more intense? You can scream climate change. But if you look up, babe, I mean, aren't we changing the climate? By we, I mean the government, the United States government, and all the other governments around the planet.
The military.
And the U.S. military. Nobody's saying it's aliens. But when you've got agencies like the DOE and the NSF bankrolling atmospheric tinkering, and companies like Raytheon building tools like the Ice Cube project or Project Ice Cube down in the Antarctic, and it's not a stretch to wonder if someone is tweaking our thermostat a little. Look at Idaho. Boise hit 103 degrees today. Was it? What was it yesterday, babe?
It was in the hundreds, I think.
Yeah, I mean, we've been in the triple digits or very close for about 2 weeks now. Baby, when was the last time you saw a line in the sky here?
I haven't for a long time.
Yeah,
it's really bizarre.
Almost 2 weeks.
Every day it was just line after line. Now I see planes flying over pretty high up in the sky, higher than normal.
Very high.
But their stream is dissipating. So
we've got that white mist.
Yeah, the
that
sky.
They
It isn't a
love.
blue sky.
No,
it's definitely hazy still, but it's like bizarre not seeing any planes.
I highly doubt.
What happened to the planes?
Yeah, what did happen to the planes? All of a sudden, all the planes disappeared.
Right?
Go figure. But as soon as the lines come back, the planes will come back. I'll guarantee you that.
Shocking.
Yeah. Well, look at that. Look at there. I guess we don't have a lot of planes flying this time. Nobody travels in the summer, babe.
Right. And we only live across the way from an airport.
Yeah. I mean, a stone's throw. Whoop, click. So I'm thinking that this is not just hot. This is the pattern. And they want this heat dome so they can drive the storms all the way from Texas through the rest of the country. Just cut a line right there. So what do? Well, we don't just complain, we act. I'm thinking that we should start filing some FOIAs, Freedom of Information Acts, to see what the DOE is hiding. We're digging into Raytheon's contracts, and we're organizing locally to demand answers. I'm going to tell you a little bit more about that in just a little bit. The heat dome is not just weather. It's a wake-up call. Stick with me, because we're about to break down the fires, the floods, the storms hitting us from every single angle. And, well, I hope you're ready to fight back. So let's keep rolling. Babe, what are they saying over there in the chat?
Dragon Daiko says aerosols can be tracked. Oh, gosh, it moved. And they will clear the air around it. Tracked today across North America, planes dumping aerosols you can't see then, but it will create the thin veil. That's true.
Yep. Looks like Ohio's getting it also. So, and then Tex Mexicana saying they're still spraying right now in El Paso, and it's 7:48 p.m. And baby, weren't you talking just a little bit ago, last episode or a couple episodes last week, you had mentioned that you keep seeing them spraying either way early in the morning or later at night.
Yeah, that's what I was, because when I wake up to walk our dog at 5:30 in the morning and the sun's coming up, I see like remnants of spray lines. So obviously they're spraying in the night now, and that's why we're not seeing them in the daytime. But,
I mean, something's going on.
That's why our sky is hazy all day.
Yeah. I don't trust what's going on by any stretch of the imagination. And I have been an ardent Trump supporter since he came down that elevator and pled his case. Absolutely. Now,
They're all talk.
Yeah, I'm really wondering why he would allow this. Hold on, I got a sip from my mug. Got my Sergey versus Goliath. Boy, baby, there's a lot of apple cider vinegar in that one. Whew, that'll wake you up. My hair's on fire. There we go. So I'm a little worried about what's going on. Now, I'm going to dig into a little bit of the Epstein case also in a bit. But right now, I want to talk about the fires, the floods, the wind, and of course, the threat down there in the Gulf of Mexico. Let's map out the chaos. Here we go with our fire map. Look at this, will you? It looks like all of Canadian land has decided to take the fire season off. There ain't no fires up there. But Alaska is on fire and America is on fire.
Are they only just showing America, though?
Well, this is I guess it's an American forest. So let's take a look.
So I think that's what it is.
Yeah, and let's see if we can find a better north.
I'm sure there's fires in Canada.
Fire map. Let's take a look and see.
Hillary Clinton was a huge fan of geoengineering. I think when she lost presidency, Trump won because she was interested in geoengineering. He became a proponent of it. That was Cass.
Yeah, but we have to ask ourselves. Oh, here's a good map, baby. There we go. All right, so it looks like Canada did not take the season off.
I told you.
And
that was just a map for
and
America.
we've got fires everywhere.
There you go.
I would find it hard to believe that ultra liberal, I don't want to say communist, but very socialist Canada would not burn their forests. We need all of this smoke to accomplish their goals. But I mean, look at this. This is just...
It's the world on fire.
It is absolutely insane. And now we've got fires burning, and then this map doesn't even do it justice for the U.S. The other day we had a whole bunch more fires, so maybe they're putting a few of them out. I don't know, but thank goodness they are, because sometimes we have had the smoke so thick here that you can't go outside, right? They got that little warning. And then, of course, you can't see across the street.
Yeah,
I mean, it's been
breathe.
just crazy. So here we go. We got flash flood risks going on. This is from the New England down there. It looks like we've got flash flood risks that are dramatically increasing. And then we've got our severe storm risks here this afternoon and evening. It's everywhere. It is absolutely everywhere. And I'm telling you, this is not normal weather.
Mary Magma said they had a hailstorm yesterday in Canada.
Yeah, there you go. And I mean, the hail, babe, people are talking about sometimes grapefruit-sized hail. And do you remember the other night when we had Paul and Will on, and they were talking about how in every hail center, there's bacteria. And that is a phenomenal way to infect a population with something. So, yeah.
So what else you got for us?
Well, good Lord, all right. I'm sorry, I forgot. The producer was sitting in on the show tonight. So let's map out the chaos hammering the country. The West is a firestorm over 100 major wildfires across 10 states, scorching 2.5 million acres this year so far, per the National Interagency Fire Center. Alaska alone has lost 300,000 acres due to fire already, and we're not even in the height of fire season. In Utah, Deer Creek fire exploded to 10,058 acres near Moab. I love Moab. Zero containment with evacuations in full swing, according to Moab Sun News. Arizona's got it worse. Dragon Bravo and White Sage fires have burned up to 50,000 acres, torching the historic Grand Canyon Lodge. Governor Katie Hobbs, who stole that election and should be thrown in prison, but she's not. Well, she's calling for a federal probe into why Dragon Bravo was initially labeled a controlled burn per Q-Air. Washington's Hope Fire is raging at 6,500 acres, forcing more evacuations. That's according to Wikipedia, and I'm not exactly sure that that's the best source, but it's what I can find. This isn't just fire season. This is what we would call a war zone. Then there's the water. In O'Donnell, Texas, a 93 mile per hour straight line wind gust hit at 1 a.m. No tornado, just raw power ripping down trees and power lines. Floods are slamming Texas, New Mexico, Oklahoma, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, all the way up to Chicago, and we have seen Washington, D.C. and New York also flooding. Philly's under a flash flood watch with 2 to 3 inches of rain per hour possible, per local forecasts. That's not really a sprinkle, is it? It looks like they're getting a deluge. Now, in the Gulf, Invest 93L, that's what they call that big blob down there, crossed Florida, dumping heavy rain, and now it's churning over 90-degree Gulf waters. That's not going to be good. That's going to feed that storm. The National Hurricane Center is tracking it, and models suggest it could become Tropical Depression Danny or Tropical Storm Danny by midweek. Oh, Danny Storm, the hills are calling. I'm going on the road. I'm gonna quit this whole podcast business, and I'm gonna sing.
Leave tonight, please.
I'll see what I can do. If this hits Louisiana, that storm we were just talking about previously, before I had my aria going, interrupted. If it's Louisiana or Mississippi, we're looking at 10 to 20 inches of rain, 60 mile per hour winds, flooding, and power outages. Some models say that it fizzles. Others say it's a beast. Either way, it's got everyone's attention. I want to kind of drill down on that a little, though, babe, because if some models say, nah, it's nothing, and other models say, yeah, it's horrible, then do we really need all this modeling? Can't they just give us the raw data and let us watch it, and then we'll do? Because that's kind of like saying, yeah, it could be bad, it could be nothing, and give us another $331 million. I mean, honest to God, a potato bug could pick the weather better. So here's where it gets weird. NOAA, FEMA, the Navy, they're watching satellites, crunching data, but saying nothing about it, why these systems stall or strike with such precision. That's what concerns me. Fires, floods, winds, storms, they're hitting like clockwork, and they're hitting places that, well, states and investors want to put their new smart cities or their $75 million power plants or server farms. We need more server farms. Of course we do. Fires, floods, windstorms. They're hitting very, very hard. The weather doesn't coordinate itself like this unless someone's got a playbook or a big checkbook. Cloud seeding is real. Texas and Idaho, well, they do it. But many other states, 11 other states do it as well. All the way down from Canada, all the way down to Florida, cloud seeding is being used. We just saw what it did to New Mexico also. New Mexico had a bunch of flooding. Agencies like NOAA aren't clueless. They're just quiet. That's not oversight. That is because it's a strategic plan that they've put in place to deceive you and me. And I don't like being deceived. So let's keep digging, because the truth is in the patterns, and we're not stopping. We are the fighters, and that's what the Clear Skies movement is all about. So I think that well, first of all, what are they saying over there in the chat, babe?
They're all talking about Dexter. I'm thinking that's the TV show Dexter.
Oh, I love no. Dexter is the good job, baby.
Well, they said the episode. I haven't seen this episode, so at first I thought it was Dexter.
Well, Dexter could be the name of the next storm. Also, it depends on what this one is.
The last episode of the original Dexter series was in Florida, in a Florida hurricane. And then they all started talking about that.
There we go.
Sorry, baby, they weren't listening to a word you were saying.
Quite frankly, I do not blame them.
Dragon Daiko said, I recorded them create clouds yesterday and then pull them all towards the SW into almost a corner and piled it up opposite of other clouds. They were the charcoal looking ones of various sizes, but repeated patterns went on for hours. That sounds bizarre.
Yeah, there's a lot of bizarre stuff that's happening, and it's not getting any better. I've been working on a plan, and it is how to shut down cloud seeding at the county level. I think that could be our most direct line to stopping this. And so I have put out a plan to a number of our the Clear Skies movement faithful and people that I think that can really help us. So we've seen the chaos. We've talked about the heat domes, the wildfires, the floods, and the storms. Now let's talk about how we fight back. This is where the Clear Skies movement gets real. We're not just yelling at the sky, although I do that a bit, but we're dismantling the system behind it, and that starts local, county by county. Step 1, file FOIA requests with the Texas Department of Licensing and Regulation and local water districts. Ask for every cloud seeding permit, every contract with Weather Modification Inc. or Rainmaker Corporation. These companies are real, and they're spraying chemicals to make it rain. Toxic, caustic chemicals. Texas has active programs. West Texas Weather Modification Association has been at it for years. Idaho has them too, up here in Ada County. And other counties, of course, we're the big ag state, as Turncoat Tammy likes to say, our senator, and I use that word loosely. She has about a brain cell and a half that she can rub together and maybe put a spark in her brain. Can't seem to stay out of from under the thumb of Big Ag and Idaho Power. They pretty much control her like a trained dog. So we need to start organizing. Step 2 is all about that. Organize town halls. I think that this is going to be a big boon for getting it done in the counties. Get your neighbors fired up. Bring the data. Show them the permits, the flight logs, the budgets. Step 3 is deliver the moratorium resolution to the county commission. That's what we're talking about. We want a moratorium until we can get at the state level and pass laws that say you cannot poison us anymore and you can't kill us. You can't bring all of this rain down in one area when it is meant to be spread across a much larger area, just because you want to either steal the land from us or you want all that water to do whatever. I mean, are they pushing some sort of ideology here? Next, we are going to target Ada County, Idaho, Boise, and Nampa. That can be ground zero for the heat dome. So from there, we're going to spread to Gillespie, San Saba, Lampas. It's not a dream, it's a plan. Once we've got counties on board, then we go to the state level. Draft bills to regulate or ban cloud seeding. Work with sheriffs. They've got the real power to push back. So find sheriffs that are sympathetic to the Constitution, not to big business. Expose those state contracts with private weather firms. Did you know that Weather Modification Inc. operates in over a dozen states? Babe, can you believe that? Mm-hmm. That's not rather, that's what conspiracy looks like. That's what they do. That's public record. Finally, we are going to take it national. The FOIAs with the FAA, NOAA, EPA. We're building towards a sky sovereignty summit this fall where we're going to unite states and activists to demand clean skies. This is legal, tactical, and winnable. That's what makes me wake up every morning because I truly believe that. Cloud seeding is just the start. There's bigger tech out there, like the stratospheric aerosol injection, the marine cloud brightening, or the solar radiation management, funded by the likes of Bill Gates, which is, I think, one of the most evil people on the planet. We don't need tinfoil hats. We need paperwork and persistence. I think that is what we really need. So I'm going to have all this laid out. You'll be able to get it from me. Well, we'll put it out. So make sure that you follow me, join the Clear Skies Movement USA, and join the TCSM states. And we got a lot. I think we got all of them now. So we're at 50 states. The only other one we don't have is Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I mean, we the girls, Babushka, Christy, and LaShawn all like worked their heinies out today. Christy especially, getting everything because she does all the work. All we do is just put the stuff up. Okay, but I'll take credit for it because what else am I going to take credit for? So, babe, what are they saying over there in the chat?
Well, they were interested in what you were drinking, so I told them.
Oh, okay, all right.
It's his favorite, especially before he goes on the show. I make him hot water with raw honey, apple cider vinegar, coconut oil, and lemon.
There we go. And it's really good. This one has quite a kick tonight.
Sorry.
Well, babe, I think that we're seeing a crack in the dam with this cloud seeding. I really believe that Augustus Jericho has talked his way into a corner. We can FOIA this information. Guys, get out there. I'm not going to do all the work. I need warriors in the Clear Skies movement. If you are not a warrior, hook up with somebody that is, and then work together because we need smart people. We need encouragement. We need people that can take some of the pressure off when the warriors get tired of fighting. Either way, we're building an army here, and I absolutely love that. Mm-hmm. What else are we thank you. Oh, yeah. Tex Mexicana. Oh, sorry. I can see the chats over here today.
I know. But moving on.
Oh, I thought you were going to read. I was waiting. I was like, oh, is she going to read something from the chat?
They're all about drinking that sounds like fire cider.
Well, so let's talk.
Dorico is done, is what Babushka says.
He absolutely, and he has to be.
Wasn't he on Joe Rogan?
Yeah, he was just he's been on everybody.
With the Epstein controversy, President Trump's efforts to shut down the outrage appears to be backfiring spectacularly. His defense of Attorney General Pam Bondi and FBI Chief Kash Patel has sparked a full-blown internal revolt. MAGA influencers who once cheered President Trump's promises of transparency now accuse his team of covering up the truth. Tensions have also erupted behind the scenes with talk of resignations, betrayal, and broken alliances. And while the president insists there's nothing more to see, his base simply isn't buying it. The Epstein files were supposed to end conspiracies, not ignite new ones. Our next report dives into the growing backlash created inside the MAGA tent.
All right, so there's a reason that I played that, and it is because Pam Bondi, Florida's former AG, Attorney General, said that she had the Epstein client list. We all remember that. We remembered that Trump hyped it up. He promised the release. Dan Bongino and Kash Patel jumped in. It was almost like a Christmas carol. They were all singing it so pretty. They were throwing fuel on that fire. We're going to release it. We're going to release it. And Diddy too. All that and Diddy too. Your little dog too.
Oh, boy.
But the problem I have is that they don't do it. Nobody ever. Let me ask you this: what famous person who ran for president has been arrested. Babe?
I'm sorry.
Hillary Clinton has Hillary Clinton, has
None.
Bill Clinton, he's right. They're criminals. Has anybody on the Epstein list? And I mean anybody. They just exonerated Prince Philip or Andrew. Yeah, Prince Andrew. Oh no, he doesn't have anything to do with it because he has trillions of dollars. That's so he can hump just about anything and get away with it. And that's exactly what happens. We're in bed with Israel, and you know what? Don't make this a Jew-hating thing and all that, because that's bullshit, and it's not what it's about. The fact is that the governments of the planet are the evil ones. Every single one of them. I'm sick and tired of hearing, you can't say this, you can't say that. Oh, somebody's feelings got hurt because we called out the truth. No, these people will not tell you the truth. Then the DOJ drops a memo, no list exists. Bang, that's it. I think that it's... I mean, I don't know if it's just incompetence or they don't know how to do it. How big is this? I mean, is it going to prove that we're living in some sort of a matrix? I don't know. The biggest scandal in history just vanishes in the news cycle. I don't get it. If these folks who claim to fight for the truth can dodge the Epstein case, a human trafficking case tied to every elite on the planet that involves literally thousands of children, get that through your head. What makes you think that they're going to come clean about what's happening in their skies? No, not at all. If we allow them to get away with this, with hiding the Epstein list, and that's why I bring it up tonight, if we allow this to happen, then they can do anything. This is a total loyalty test, and they're failing it big time. Let's connect the dots to our fight. During Trump's term, the Department of Energy ramped up funding for climate intervention. Think solar geoengineering, spraying particles into the stratosphere. The National Science Foundation ran field tests in the West, overlapping with heat domes like the ones roasting Idaho and, of course, the rest of the West right now. The CIA, well, they've backed black budget programs tied to weather ops, and no one's talking. We ask and ask and ask, and they simply refuse with impunity. Trump signed off on patents for weather modification techs. Well, the use of it, absolutely. Because if he didn't allow it, it wouldn't be happening. Look up patent, U.S. patent US 5003186 for a start. But never once mentions anything about geoengineering, right? RFK promised that he would stop this. He went on Dr. Phil. It's killing people, he said. And now he is silent. And we need to make sure that no one gets away with this. Not a peep. If he's silent on that, what else is he hiding? And I'm talking about Donald Trump. Because we need the president. That's where the buck stops. I mean, everybody else, we can say, all right, they're not saying much, but they're not allowed to. Because they're being told from the very top, don't you dare talk about this. Now, I want to be very clear about this. I'm not picking a political team. This isn't about red or blue. It's about truth. Pam Bondi, Bongino, Kash Patel, they're loud on X, rallying for freedom. But when it comes to the skies, they're mute. Don't you think that is creating a prison literally all around us? Same with the Epstein list. If they can't deliver a trafficking scandal and they have tens of thousands of videotapes, why trust them on cloud seeding or HARP? That's my take on it. I want to know what you guys think in the chat. The Department of Energy.
Oh, sorry, I thought you meant me.
No. I'm saying, let me know what you think about that. The Department of Energy's budget for atmospheric research jumped 20% from 2017 to 2020. NSF's been funding weather experiments since the 1960s. Project Storm Fury, ring a bell? And Raytheon's radar systems aren't just for tracking storms. They're part of that bigger grid. This isn't about loyalty to a leader either. I know that people are saying, "Oh, how can you turn against Trump?" I'm not. But I don't have to follow blindly, and neither do you. When we are promised something and we put somebody in office, we expect that promise to be held. I don't care who you are, Democrat, Republican, Independent. If they make promises and we put them in office because of those big promises, we want that stuff done. The skies are literally on fire, flooding, storm stalling, and the same folks promising transparency are now playing dumb, and not just dumb, like stupid dumb. That's not oversight. That is absolute obedience to a system that's gaming us. That's how I feel about that. We don't need their permission to demand answers. We're doing it ourselves, county by county, FOIA by FOIA. The Epstein dodge proves that they're going to hide what they believe matters most. So let's keep pushing, because the truth about our skies won't come from them. It's going to come from us. We cannot think for one moment that our government is ever going to do the right thing if left unpushed. We have got to put that pressure on them. What are they saying over there in the chat?
It is up to us people.
Yeah.
I mean, we're letting them walk all over us.
We are, absolutely.
Let me see. I had something that keeps moving on me. Babushka said she thanked God Bongino didn't step down. Don't know if that was truth or not.
He was back into work today, they said.
Hope it's not happening. Yeah. Oh, where was it? Sorry, people. Oh, someone said they cloned RFK Jr. Human being did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't doubt it.
So who else said you should get an appointment to go talk to Trump, Sergey?
Well, somebody's going to have to talk to him. If it's me, I'll do it. Exactly. I'll drive over. I'll drive up. I'll meet him down at Mar-a-Lago.
Yeah, there we go.
Why not?
Babushka says what if we all do a pressure campaign, have thousands of people email POTUS to do an executive order?
I think let's do it. Babushka, let's start organizing that. I think that is a very good idea.
I do too.
Well, so let's put the puzzle together. We've got heat domes, of course, roasting California, Nevada, Arizona, Utah, Idaho. Boise and Nampa, as we talked earlier, have hit in the triple digits any number of times and have been sitting around there for weeks now. And of course, we've got the wildfires are tearing through the West. 2.5 million acres burned this year, 300,000 in Alaska alone, per the National Interagency Fire Center. Utah's Deer Creek fire is, like I said, at 10,000. I mention all of this again just so you understand what is going on.
Nice ad for Always tampon pads, dear.
Oh, did I miss it? I just have this up for the it's 98 degrees out. It's 8:18 p.m. sitting here, 8:19 now, and it is still 98 degrees out. Washington's Hope's fire is burning 6,500 acres. Texas hit with a 93-mile-an-hour wind. No tornado, just raw wind coming blasting through. Here's the big news. America has suffered 4 once-in-a-thousand-year floods in less than a week. Hold on, I'm going to... All right, let's skip this.
Shock by the catastrophic damage left by flooding can be felt across the country.
That's right. The U.S. has been rocked by 4 1-in-1,000-year rainfall events in less than a week. Chris joins us right now to explain. Chris.
I don't think I've heard that sentence in all of my career of 15 years. 4 1-in-1,000-year rainfall events.
I swear that's a clip on Ty.
To have in 1 week. Because there's events like Matthew, as we know here in the Carolinas, Florence. Those were 1-in-1,000-year rainfall events. Helene, but to have me surrounded here. That what happened from July 3rd through the middle of this week. This is insane. But let's start with the biggest one. This is Kerr County, Texas.
There you go.
Here. So this is the after flooding. You're not even seeing the worst of the video because at one point cars were being just carried downstream. So this is right around the Guadalupe River. But here's the problem that happened here. Rain showers converged. It was the moisture from Barry that led to this, that I saw pieces of houses. You saw just an absolute devastation where you usually do not hear of a death toll like this from just a rain event.
It's insane.
Absolutely staggering to see that. Where the North Fork, the South Fork River, the Guadalupe River all meet here. Saw a range about 5 to 12 inches across the area, just leading to one of the worst events that you're probably ever going to see. And there's still so many people missing.
So that's, I mean, that is insane. 4 once in 1,000-year floods in less than a week. Do I need to say more? Do I is this the Perry Mason point where where all of a sudden the government just says, "All right, you caught me. We have just effed things up so much that the Mother Nature is now rolling over and saying, you want a flood? I'll show you a flood." And I think that, I keep saying it, but I think that the powers that be, our U.S. military, has lost control of the weather, at least for this cycle, and it is triggering now other events. And if we allow companies like Rainmaker to keep seeding, and then that drops all of the moisture in one area, which it is intended to be spread over long, much wider areas, we're going to have this, these once in 1,000-year floods every week. Get used to it. That's just the way it's going to be.
Marcy Lamborn says Marjorie Taylor Greene has Trump's ear. We should lobby her office.
I've reached out to Marjorie Taylor Greene, and I think that if we sent 1,000 emails to MGT,
yeah, good idea.
We can get some. Maybe I'll get something. I'll get her address tomorrow, and I will post it, and we'll start posting. We'll have our admins start posting it in all our groups as well, and let's do a campaign. And we want to tell her also that the Clear Skies movement wants to be in on writing her bill. We don't want a lackluster, do-nothing bill like going on in Florida right now. We need something with teeth. Let's get Doug Mastriano to get his bill, SB 508, there in Pennsylvania, and get some teeth. MTGE mail push. All right, that is for tomorrow. We're going to get that set up because I think that that's something that really needs to happen. I think that we're seeing this cloud seeding that's happening in Texas and Idaho and Mexico and all over. I think that also needs to be addressed. We're going to be releasing our push on that also too as well. There we go. I don't want to be using the same term all the time. But we're going to be releasing that, and then we want your help. I want you out there listening to go ahead and step up and start filing FOIA requests, start scheduling town hall meetings, start talking to your neighbors, start creating a little more identity, a little more light, a little more heat on this subject, because now is the time. We've got a direct line of sight from cloud seeding, flooding. And it's not too telling that Rainmaker, Augustus Dorico, announced that they had suspended operations in Texas because the place is flooding and it's murdering people. And at what point, right? At what point do we? At what point do we rush the courts and say, you know what, you can go straight to hell because we're not allowing you to protect the murderers anymore? That is something that we're going to have to talk about sooner or later. Just because the they write laws, just because the deep state and their operatives and the people with bazillions of dollars write these laws that are absolutely favored for the criminals, doesn't mean we have to live with it. Absolutely not. So we've got a new party coming up, right? Elon Musk's American Party. We can put pressure on this administration because it will be a bloodbath for the midterms if Elon Musk's party takes off and people are tired of being lied to and murdered and letting the courts get away with it. So if a new party is coming, maybe we get involved and maybe we take up the mantle. Maybe we're the vice presidents and maybe we are the ambassadors and maybe we are the department heads, and then we get stuff done and we start putting the people in prison that need to be put in prison, and we start executing the people that need to be executed because they are murdering people by the hundreds. And it's not just people. I mean, look at our crops. Our crops are dying in the ground. So what is the truth? We need some transparency, and we were promised transparency, and we're not getting it. What are they saying in the chat, babe?
Well, Human Being did say, what has MTG accomplished? Anything on any topic?
Well, I mean, she hasn't accomplished anything with the, I mean, really the only thing that I'm worried about right now is the atmosphere, the sky. So if she gets anything else.
DPFS 98 says Tim Burchett was talking about geoengineering on X today.
There you go. I mean, it's a topic that everybody is going to be talking about very, very soon. Dragon Draco, mayhem before the chaos. There we go. Seems something is building based on our skies there. The way that keeps jumping up. Is there a way that I can stop that?
I told you it pops.
Yeah, the movement of the skies. Last night was a huge awakening on their powers, which they're growing to make something even bigger.
Stephen Ryan says we need a party that will unite all Americans. That's so true.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're so divided.
I think that the division is the problem. And that has been a tremendous success for the one-party system. There's no left and right. And we hear about it all the time, right? We hear how politicians are for the political class. John McCain, war criminal, horrible person, turned on the very people he was supposed to be protecting. He outed the leaders that wanted to revolt just to save his skin. He got out. He was never tortured. He lied about all of that. He comes back, and the first thing he does is he runs for office. He becomes the senator of Arizona, and immediately, I mean like a whore, like a floozy, a Jezebel, a lady of the night, jumps in bed with the military-industrial complex. What are you saying over there?
Take down your picture.
Oh, I like the picture.
Dragon Daco says mayhem before the chaos.
I already read that.
Oh, you did?
Yep.
I'm so sorry.
No, that's all right. But it's true. I mean, we're fighting battles that we should not have to fight. That's where it all sits. So go out and do the things that make life better. Let's start taking it down county by county. Let's go after cloud seeding first. Let's work our way up. What are they saying over there in the chat?
Stephen Ryan says everyone is tired of being put in a box. Our freedom comes our U.S. Constitution Bills of Rights. 17
million is what they say the COVID vaccine killed. Our government funded that and then released that on us. Has Dr. Anthony Fauci been brought to justice? Has anybody at the NIH, at the WHO, or we're still funding all of that? Have we pulled our labs from China? No, we haven't. That should tell you everything you need to know. What's going on over there?
And Odd Milvato says, problem is anyone under 30 was brainwashed with global warming bullshit in school.
But, I know a number of people under 30, primarily, our kids. And they've got some good heads on them. There are some of them that really understand what's going on. I think that we have a lot of hope there. And we need to start talking to them. We need to bring more of them into the Clear Skies movement. Let's make sure that we're not just paying attention to, the dinosaurs, me included, right? But let's start bringing the people that will make the difference next time. Well, it is 8:30 p.m., and that means that it's time for me to have a glass of wine or a whiskey. But either way, make sure you show up tomorrow night because we're going to just keep drilling down on all this stuff. For all of us, I'm Sergey Brown.
And I'm Dawn.
And we will see you next time.
Good night, all.